Is everyone G?
Yep.
Am I a G? Yes, I am a G.
Are you G to G?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm B to B.
I'm so confused. All right. If we just want to get into it. Last we left off, the party found their way back to the South for the second time today in a quest to find out the source of this new drug derived from a pretty rare mineral called pit charge, which was explained to you by your new companion, Plip, the small grung healer that was found in the sanctuary, helping out the sickly people finding refuge there. Shortly after meeting Plip, a ooze snuck attack the sanctuary, bursting out from the statue in the center of the room. After a interesting fight with some invisibility and other shenanigans, the ooze was vanquished and uncovered a tunnel leading deeper under the city from presumably where the ooze had crept up from and into the sanctuary. You all decided this must be a good place to start in searching for the source of the oozes, and hopped down into the dark tunnels beneath the South. And this is where you find yourselves now. Just touching down into this very, very dark space. It's like advanced darkness, especially for those of you without dark vision. It stinks. The air is thick and humid. Ooze sort of coats the floor and partly up the walls of this space. No innate threats immediately around you, but this place is covered in muck. And looking around immediately, those of you with dark vision can see this tunnel is not very uniform. I mean, it's uniform in some places where it seems to have been old, like sewer tunnels that have been corroded away, broken down over time. They're a bit irregular. There are some incroppings and outcroppings at points. But the tunnel before you is open.
I guess we head forward.
All right. Are you moving forward stealthily?
Sure.
Yes.
Why
All right.
not?
Do I get the sense, looking at these people, that they can't see very well? Some of them?
Two of them appear human, and you are where humans don't have dark vision.
Okay, I will uncast the light from the rock that I dropped down and recast it on my shield.
Okay.
And be towards the front.
I was trying to think who the other human was, and I forgot that Thyra is human.
I'm not very human-like, but I can't see anything right now.
Yeah, she's more of a warforged, if anything.
I can't see nothing.
All right. So if you're moving forward stealthily, I need everyone to roll a stealth check.
DM, can you confirm that my stealth is a +4? Because I don't have Foundry.
I believe it is.
I think it's a +4.
It's a +5.
So look at me! Okay, 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The rolling continues.
15.
Oh god. 15. Okay.
15.
15.
Why do I have?
I also got a 15.
15.
Why do I have such high sleight of hand?
8?
Why is it-
A from the one that's lit up makes
It's
sense.
from previous. Oh, it's from when she was out.
Do we get a roll from Felix yet?
He's not here right now. He's
Is
grabbing
he
something.
still away? Silly boy.
Roll for him.
I'll roll for him.
Let's go. You want it to be bad? Because then I could do it.
Uh,
Oh my
where's my
gosh.
pink dice? I'll roll my pink flower dice for him. He's a special boy. Hey, that's not great. It was a very mid-roll, TBH. What's the total here? He rolled an 18. He has a +8. That's wonderful. Okay.
Literally mid-roll.
Literally mid-roll. You guys continue forward. All of you being pretty quiet and like aware of your step, except for your friend in the front, little grung boy, sort of trotting away, feet. Well, kind of makes sense. Your feet are stickier, so the mix with the ooze is just kind of like a slopping noise as you go forward. But you go forward the best you can, sort of keeping careful footing. It is pretty slick at some parts, where ooze has this kind of built up, mixing with that kind of old sewage water that's leaked down over time.
Now, when you say ooze, does it
Mhm.
seem like related to what we just fought, or just swampy sewage goop?
Ooze as in what you just fought. When I
So
say
it's kinda
ooze, I'm
everywhere.
relating. Yeah. When I say ooze, I mean the black gunk that makes up the enemies. But these don't seem living. They just kind of seem like remnants, not imbued with the same force that the others have. But you make your way gingerly through, continuing for a couple minutes, kind of curving in different parts until you reach about 5 minutes in, like a short walk. The floor beneath you begins to slope slightly, and suddenly all of the muck that you've been trudging through is up to your knees. Plip, it's like up to your hips, up to your
Oh.
waist.
Gosh, how thick is it?
It's pretty thick.
Like tar?
Yeah, in a way.
I'll
But-
oh, sorry.
Plip, with your bare feet, you feel that underneath this very thick layer, there is a thin, like, bottom layer of what feels just like water. Like, it's not
Interesting.
as gross. Like,
Can
all of
I-
this is floating on top.
Can I pick Plip up?
Yes, you can.
Oh, let's go.
If you'll let me.
Of
You're pretty
course he'll let
strong,
you.
and he's 33 pounds. He's nothing.
Are you gonna put me
Um,
on your shoulders?
Well, I'm first gonna ask you, so I'll say, do you need a ride?
Oh,
Yeah.
that will be pretty good, actually. That
Fucking
will be very
Nico.
helpful. Thank you.
All right. Come up here, and I'll put him on my shoulder.
Interestingly enough, the tunnels in here aren't that tall. Plip, if you ride on her shoulders, you're more like arms over her shoulders, trying to keep your head down because you will be scraping the top of your head on the
Oh.
tunnel.
Oh, well, if that's the
gosh.
case, I'll just like hold him out in front of me like a beach ball.
Do you have something on your back I can hold on to? Like an axe?
Oh yeah, I got plenty. I got javelins. I got axes. What do you want to hold on to?
Can I like hold on to a
Have your
couple
options.
javelin
Hey,
handles
yo.
and sort of just ride the back?
So, huh?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I know what I want to hold on to.
Yeah, easy enough to ride on her pack and amongst her stuff.
Hey, yeah.
I need you all to stop. But you all continue forward. Those of you trudging through, I need you all to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, one
Oh,
minute. We're all gonna
God.
fucking die. Nope.
Wait, I'm not bad at these.
While we're
Wait.
trudging,
That's a 1.
oh goodness.
Wait, what do we have for
Yeah,
my
that's a
strength
natural
saving throw?
19 for plus. I don't know how
For a total of 5.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
5 isn't bad.
A 3.
A 3.
Oh
Okay.
my
23.
Wait, not a 3, not a 3.
Guys,
Sorry. 9.
guys,
Or no, not 9.
please.
Fucking hell. 11.
Guys, please.
3, 9, 11.
Oh my
I had a
goodness.
plus
20.
3. I have a plus 3
guys-
is what I meant to say.
Anyone who rolled above a 12
Oh,
does not get poisoned.
Oh.
The rest of you
No.
are now suffering from the
Yes.
poisoned condition.
Slowly
Oh,
dying.
gosh.
Got necrosis. I've got poison.
True.
What does poison do?
I can't carry
Disadvantage on
everybody.
attacks and checks
For how long?
until it's gone.
Until you cure it. As long as you're
Bruh.
trudging through here.
I'm gonna. Does it smell like shit down here?
It does smell like shit. You're
I'm
so
putting
right.
I'm putting on the respirator that I have in my inventory.
Wow, you can't smell anything anymore. It's like magic. The air, it filters out the air. It's not as humid as you breathe in. It's quite nice.
Wait, I bet I look kind of hot right now.
You do
Right.
look kind of hot right now.
Definitely.
Leather jacket, mask.
Ooh.
If you didn't
It's a
smell
look.
like shit right now,
Yeah.
you'd be very attractive.
But you continue now pulling your legs through. Thyra, it's not as difficult for you, but the rest of your movement does get slowed.
While we're walking, I will
Yes.
say quietly-ish to Thyra, but also to the group at large, but mostly directed at Thyra. Just as a reminder, by the way, when you have that sort of blessing thing that I do on you, if someone else with it is gonna get hurt, you can stop it, like I did. I don't know if you saw that. You can just sort of.
We were literally
Appear
all
there?
invisible. I didn't see shit.
Oh, that's right. You'll feel this call to protect them, and you can more or less reappear right next to them and protect them from whatever is attempting to harm them.
Well, that would
If
be
you
very
want.
useful.
Yeah, I'll make sure you always have it because you seem pretty strong. So I just thought I should let you know that.
I appreciate it, little one. I'll
They
keep it
smile.
in mind.
A very chubby-cheeked smile.
Oh.
He's just a little lad.
Little guy.
Nothing ever happens. Nothing should happen to him.
Nothing bad ever happens to Plip.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yes, you all continue walking through until you see the edges of this tunnel begin to open up more. It goes from about like a one person, like a single file line, to a two, like a side-by-side line. But in exchange for this larger pathway, parts of this tunnel seem less intact than the rest. You hear a distant, like, trickle of water and a slight movement in the ooze underneath you as you reach the precipice of this space.
Ew.
Marching order really quick.
I'm on Thyra.
I'll be in the back, middle-ish,
I
probably
can go. I'll go front.
Theo or near Theo.
I have vision, so I can go front.
I think I'd be behind Hailstorm because I can also see.
So we have Hailstorm, Theo, Thyra, Plip, and then Felix at the end.
For me.
All right.
Quick question. Do
Yes.
any of you have an increased max HP right now?
Nope.
I did, and then I got hit.
But if it was from me, because I think I cast aid, but my character sheet blew up, so I'm not positive. But it would still be there because it's not temp HP; it's an increase to your max HP.
Then yeah, I still have it.
Okay. Who else did I give it to? It would be 3 people.
It was not me, so I think it might have
Probably
been.
Thyra and Hailstorm.
Yeah,
It was probably Thyra and Hailstorm.
I was
Wait,
not.
does it
Unless you
do
gave it to
anything else?
yourself.
Does it give you
That's
advantage on saving throws or anything?
No. It's just an increase of 5 to your max HP.
Oh, that's why I had a +5. That's why I had a 5 and a 5 next to my
Yes,
max HP.
it was you
Yes.
and
when I came
Thyra.
in
So
here. Oh,
Thyra, if you
That's why
can
I
hear
have
me,
that.
you also have an increase of 5 to your max HP.
she can't edit her character.
Oh, let me
All right,
see
well,
what
give
she
it
has.
to her, Game Master.
Plus max, she's a 5.
Let's
There you
go.
All right. So Hailstorm, as you're leading the charge here.
Thyra is more than a 5. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's my
Real!
sister. What the fuck, dude? That's my sister. She saw 10. Get the fuck out of here.
All right. Thyra is a 10. But Hailstorm, as you lead the charge, when you begin to enter this space, the ground below you, you immediately feel is a lot more uneven.
Are you hungry?
Unmuted.
Leah's unmuted.
I am
still.
kind of hungry, actually. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Oh, we got home and he's hungry. 1 second. Continue, please.
So Thyra is feeding her pet frog.
Thyra's feeding Scotty.
I'm reading Scotty right now.
Oh my god, everyone's walking away.
I'm here. You can describe it to me.
So, Hailstorm, you continue. The ground below you in this space feels a lot more like uneven,
Mhm.
and there seems to be a lot more debris on the ground.
Mhm. Can I deduce why that would be the case?
You sure can. Make a motherfucking
Perception
investigation
or
check.
investigation?
Investigation.
Can I reach him or no? From from being up on
You
the back.
have Theo in
Her.
front between you and
I'll also make an investigation check.
Dungeon Master,
Can I
can I
reach
get
Theo?
advantage just because I'm being so fucking cool?
if Theo wants to give you advantage.
I think you
I'll
should
give you
definitely give it to
advantage.
me.
I
okay,
have
well.
disadvantage.
Oh,
That
perfect.
is true.
14.
14. So you kind of feel around with your foot on the ground and feel places where if you step like on like a loose pebble, it like squishes underneath. Like there's ooze between the earth, like between layers of the ground here. And it feels very unsteady, and some parts of it feel like it's cracking beneath your step.
Step carefully. Shit is getting weird. She'll keep going, I guess. But
Alright.
trying to take it carefully. Watch where she steps.
Alright, I would like, as everyone moves to this space, everyone to make a dexterity check.
Does that not include me?
Not including you, because you're being carried.
Just a straight
Can
up
I-
dex check, not a dex save.
Okay.
Athletics or acrobatics?
I will cast guidance on Thyra.
Okay.
And
I
that
got a
same sort
19.
of
Got a
little
14.
amber light
Disadvantage.
flitters around her.
With disadvantage? Hell yeah.
Nice.
Leah, you have a D4. Leah can't hear me.
No, because she's feeding Elfie.
Leah's deceased. Should I roll for her since I'm on her back?
You're. We're gonna have to wait for those two, unless I just roll for them.
Hey, yo!
Do you want that to be Thyra's roll?
I mean, I don't think it counts because you said that I wouldn't do it, but it was a natural 20.
Damn.
I think that counts.
I can
You
roll
think
well
that
for other
counts?
people, just not myself.
You think that counts?
I don't
What?
think it counts personally, but if you
Leah,
want to take it, you're in charge.
without knowing his roll, do you want to take Matt's roll or roll for yourself for an athletics check?
Not near my dice, so I'll take Matt's, I guess.
Wow, good choice.
What did Matt roll?
Natural 20.
Oh, well, there you go. Of course. I did
And
so
you have
well.
guidance. Hold on. Let
And
me roll
guidance.
the guidance. Let me roll the guidance.
Is this an athletics check?
Oh,
Holy-
that's just
Yes.
a 1.
That's a plus, so 28.
Let's go.
She's built diffy.
She's built Diffie. Where's
1 second,
Nico?
I'm
I'll roll for
switching over.
Nico. I'll roll the pretty pink dice again for Nico. Oh, that's pretty good. He'll
Hello.
take it.
I'm on my laptop.
Hello. This is the most fucked up beginning to a session I think we've had. What's his acrobatics?
Out of
Oh,
curiosity,
shit.
What would my roll be? I'm gonna get my dice. 1 sec.
All right.
Dice for Dungeons and Dragons?
You all succeed. And stepping through, you guys managed to fix your footing every time you felt a weak spot. Some parts you have near misses of like your foot cracking in, getting slightly stuck in the ooze below you, but you pull the foot out and continue going. Who's keeping eyes?
I'm keeping eyes from my perch on Thyra's
Karma
gigantic
and Stellic are also
lats.
keeping an eye.
Okay. As you all
Huge
focus
tracts
on
of land.
roll for your familiars. I guess I'll roll for Stellic. Unless you're just looking through Stellic's eyes as you do this.
No, I don't think so. Because
Okay.
it'd still be my scores.
Are they ahead
Does
of
he
us?
even have a stat book?
Is this
Stellic.
perception?
Yes. Pretty good.
10.
10 for Karma?
Mhm.
Okay. Stellic roll's pretty good. Plip,
Yes.
from your perch.
15.
Nice. Okay. Plip and Stellic notice within the room around you, certain parts of the ooze seem to rise and fall, and then another part on the other side rises and falls. Sort of like it's breathing in little pulses around the room.
That's yucky.
Gross.
Can I tell if there are different parts of it acting in a certain way separately but similarly, or if there's one thing that's like moving between these different spots and lifting up in different areas?
Make? What would this be?
I don't know.
Medicine?
Insight?
Insight?
Against the ooze?
Okay.
Inside the ooze?
15 again.
Oh my gosh.
Same exact roll.
So there does seem to be sort of areas that are just calm, like just non-living ooze. Like sort of around where you're stepping, you're avoiding the more turbulent places in the ooze, but it seems to have like less of a liquid texture and more of a form to it. Almost like oobleck, when you touch it, it like goes solid and then turns into liquid again, and then goes solid and then turns into liquid.
I hate all of this.
That's very yucky.
It is pretty yucky.
Is there an evident path to avoid those areas, or not really?
Yeah, between you and Stellic, this hovering skull that you've never seen before, about the size of your hand, your
Hey,
tiny
yo.
little hand.
A
Sort of
humanoid
hovering.
skull?
I thought it was a human skull.
Make a nature check.
Hey, yo! I have a
This
plus
was a
0?
human skull.
Natural 20?
You know
Okay.
exactly
Back?
what species it is, let alone what fucking race
Wow,
it
this is my uncle's skull.
Yeah.
Danny, is this you? It's humanoid, but it's not quite human. It doesn't look the same as like a human physique or an elf physique or a halfling. Too slender and narrow to be a half-orc or a dwarf. It's almost alien in a way. You can't quite put a finger on what species it is, because you haven't really encountered anybody like this. But it's very smooth. Very elongated, almost just very dramatically like
Featured.
cinched back and
Interesting.
oblong.
And
But-
looks small, like it was a smaller creature in life.
Well, you're unsure of the size because of it's just like the palm of your hand. It's like shrunken down into this
Oh,
tiny
it doesn't
little.
seem like it's normal size. I see.
No.
Okay.
No.
Got it.
But it's sort of guiding the path before you as it seems to be on the lookout for that kind of pattern.
Okay.
But Stellic guides you all through the more raised up portions, sort of bouncing on rubble, keeping out of the ooze as much as possible. Navigating it pretty well. A lot of you. And eventually you gingerly step to what seems like the other side. The ground becomes more solid again, though you're still trudging through about that knee-high muck.
As we get to the other side, I'm gonna
Yes.
find like a pebble or something and throw it into the more liquidy areas.
All right.
You awaken an eldritch god.
You throw it towards one of those areas that seems to undulate.
Ugh.
And you see as it lands in, sort of tendrils of the ooze lash out and stick to the ceiling, trying to go towards where the rock came from. Like it splashed up too high, and now these stringy bits of ooze sort of connect the pool to the ceiling.
Well, it's good we didn't step in that.
The tendrils eventually fall back in, slopping into the pool. It seems more agitated now. More movement across the entire pool.
Can I, are we trying to get through the pool? Are we trying to go around the pool? Like, where are we going? Is the
You
pool
just
in our
crossed to
way?
the other side.
Oh, we're okay.
You're already there.
I guess I did not pick that up on that. Maybe I was out of my own world. I could have Ray of Frost it, maybe froze it, but we're good. Never mind. Try later.
You're good. So like highway hypnosis made your way through.
Anyway, made your way. I'm making my way.
We continue on. After a little while longer of walking, the tunnel seems to become less rough. Like it less of a little cavern and more sort of like trends off and into a more solid tunnel. Like this was once part of the sewer system. And less of its own little offshoot, potentially carved out by the ooze itself. Eventually, a little while's more of walking, the ooze lets up, and you're able to step up out of this puddle and back onto solid ground. The temperature is cooler. Like there's less of that ooze creating that decay and warmth in the air. Hear more of that gentle trickle of free-flowing water.
I'll look to Plip. You're welcome to walk on your own feet if you'd like, but I don't mind carrying you.
Well, for now, I'll walk on my own 2 feet. If something else comes along, I'd appreciate getting back up, but I don't want to wear you out just in case we have to deal with something.
I assure you, you aren't wearing me out. You weigh nothing, so this axe weighs more than you.
Plip looks at the axe. It definitely does weigh more than him. That's fair enough. I'll walk for now, though. Thanks.
Of course.
Alright. A little farther in, there's another outcropping. Off to the right, this sort of built-out segment of the tunnel. The ground is sort of sinks in with like a water, I guess sort of eroded into this puddle filled with water and little floating bits of ooze covering the entire floor. It's not very deep. It sort of just covers the heels of your boots. But there's what looks to be an old hideout of sorts. Long abandoned. Everything is waterlogged and sort of molded and decayed. But there are some semblance of newishness in a weird way. It would take a little bit of investigating to figure out exactly how long this has been deserted. But there seems... Yes.
My background.
Oh, we're whipping out backgrounds now. We've hit the end game.
When you enter a ruin or a dungeon, you can correctly ascertain its original purpose and determine its builders.
That was sweet.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a
You know
cool
exactly.
background.
You know exactly
It's
how long
insane,
ago.
Indiana
actually.
Jones over here.
A background feature being useful?
Holy
What
fuck.
the heck?
So, this room and this kind of segment of the tunnels seems to be like an old, like aqueduct in a sense, like a drainage system, not necessarily sewage. The tiles along the walls are this light, sort of like turquoise, although aged. Water's kind of deteriorated the color of them a bit. But almost like a tiled swimming pool, like sealed for the water. But the furnishings in this little space don't resemble that at all. They are old pieces, like an old table and chairs. There's a small cot that's been bundled up into the corner. A small chest. These look much newer. Maybe have been here for a few years. The ends of, or the feet of the table and chairs are waterlogged. They're darker wood, mold growing along them and on the undersides of everything. And there are scattered bits of stuff. Although most of it seems to be cleared out, there is just small clutters of things. And upon further inspection, just a few pieces of scrap paper, a quill. The old chest seems to be holding some clothes of some sort. Much, much newer than the surroundings, and much newer than what you've seen in the rest of the ruins of the Soth, strangely.
Does the paper have any writing on it?
It does. The ink is smudged. Seems like that same water and the drippings, the humidity and the condensation of the room soiled the ink slightly, but you do see written out on it, K. New player, Larenlas. Asking for a lot. Promises a lot. Meeting them on the 23rd. Be there. Signed, M.
Meeting on the 23rd.
Does the word Larenlos seem like a name or a word in another language?
Make a history check.
Well,
I'll
that's
make
gonna
one
go
too, but I
great.
doubt I'm gonna get anything. Oh, I'm not advantage. 1 second.
11.
11?
5. I'm pretty sure I don't add anything to that.
A 5.
I also got
I know.
11.
Nothing.
11.
What was it? The roll?
History.
History.
Oh yeah, I'm really good at these.
Send
I mean,
it.
actually, I kind of am, actually.
Send it.
16. 15.
Oh, okay. So, you all look over this note. Based on, well, none of you explicitly, well, actually, Theo, you would have the best understanding of what this word is. Larenlas is an Elvish word for royalty. You're unsure the context or why it's in this note. At Hailstorm, you would know Larenlas is a slang word for someone of high standing. Like a CEO or a government official. Or just someone that's really rich.
I will relay that to everyone. So I don't butcher it.
Wasn't K... It's been so long. Who's K?
Kay was the person that you all saved and took to Kirin to live with Redelia after you got information out of him.
Does this note seem newer than that?
No. Although it could have been around the same time. It doesn't seem like it's been written since then. Not within the past month or so.
And what's today?
Today is the 14th.
But you said not written within the last month.
Yeah. It hasn't been, it doesn't seem like it's been written since meeting Kay, which was about 5 or 6 weeks ago.
So it's definitely old.
Old magic.
Old magic. You know, something older would have been in less good of a condition, or a paper would have been in a worse condition, being down here.
Hmm.
Amusing side note, today is the 23rd. I just pulled up the calendar to try to see
Oh,
IRL
wow.
if it's the 23rd.
It's true.
Well, that's crazy.
1, 2, 3.
So this note and all this stuff was placed here?
It seems like folded up, discarded. It wasn't set up very neatly on the table. It was just
Okay.
kind of sitting there.
So it could maybe be about 7 weeks old, which would be the 23rd, not of last month, but the previous month, and shortly before the party met.
When
this
did the
figure.
attack on the with the oozes? When was that day?
The 21st of Flore, which was last month.
Okay.
Months are longer in
True.
Draenor.
So, if this is just spitballing. If that was the attack was on the 21st, maybe a meeting was on the 23rd, and that's what this note is applying. But it could be also the 23rd of this month as well, so I don't know.
Well, there's one way to find out if it's this month.
That's true.
It's true.
Where's the note say to go?
It doesn't have a location.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And K is in Kieran now, right?
Kay is in Kirin, but no longer with Redelia, so somewhere in Draginia.
Do we know any other M names?
M names? Oh boy. Do you want me to pull out the master doc of NPCs for you?
Yes.
Okay,
Of
M
course,
names.
I don't know if I would be the best person because I didn't meet a lot of people with being
You didn't.
kidnapped. So
M
think-
names, you know, Mallory Graynand, Marlon Tobuddy, Missy Bloomspar, Myriad Valen.
I'm just gonna cast Sending.
Okay. Decay?
Decay.
Okay.
In sewers, found note. Who's Larenlas and M? Where and when was meeting?
There's a second.
Hope you're staying safe.
when did you get sending? Have you sent before? Is this?
I've
Am I
sent
just-
before.
Wow.
Okay.
Yep. It's been a second though. M. That's fucking Mike. You gotta be more specific for Larenlas, though. Quite a few.
Does that mean it's like an organization?
It's probably just a common phrase they toss around for all the snobby rich people.
Hmm.
Meetings were usually at the bar, just behind it. Gotta be more specific, love. That's it.
He says N is Mike. We need to be more specific if we want more answers. Or we could go to the bar on the 23rd and see who shows up.
Right. Hmm. Well, I don't know if we can do that. Take care of that right now. Doesn't seem like it pertains to the ooze.
Probably not.
Why don't we just keep it in mind, and if we're around the 23rd, we try and find it, but I think that's something we should put a pin in.
For reference, the 23rd is about 9 days from now.
We've got time.
I'll stick the note in my spellbook.
Mm-hmm.
Are the clothes anything special?
You sift through the small chest. You do find a pair of like knee-high boots, sort of in a larger men's size, a trench coat, a pair of leather gloves, look well worn, and a small bag of out-of-place jewelry, worth about 24 golds worth. And then a smoking pipe just on the bottom of the chest.
Oh.
Nice.
Take a look at the pipe.
Don't let Felix take a look at it.
For
Whatever.
real.
Now let me
I'll
get a
hide that
sniff.
away.
There's something still in it.
Does it look magical?
Make an Arcana check.
An endlessly filled pipe with drugs.
There's another exit to this room, I assume, right? Or have we reached a dead end?
Yes.
20.
20. It does look pretty fancy. There are very, very tiny runes engraved and a small gold band around the sort of like the midsection of the pipe.
Yo.
I'll cast Identify quickly.
Okay. It is a pipe of remembrance.
Oh?
Whoa.
What does
What
that
does
mean?
that do?
What does it do? What's it do?
This long, delicate wooden pipe features a bowl made from a smooth river stone. When the pipe is lit, smoke exhaled from it does not dissipate, instead lingering around the bearer. After 10 minutes, the smoke forms in moving shapes that reenact the bearer's most impressive and heroic achievements for 5 minutes.
Mhm.
Cool.
When this realistic performance is complete, the smoke dissipates. The pipe cannot be used this way again into the next dawn.
Damn.
It's like Gandalf.
It's like Gandalf.
That's it.
Well, I'll keep the pipe.
Smart decision.
While they're fiddling around with chests and letters and things that I don't know much of, I'm just going to peek through the exit, not leaving the room, but just looking down at that way and see what's upcoming if we were to continue.
Okay, make a perception check.
13?
13? Okay. So, looking down the hallway, it does get dark again. Though, although it curves off, well, the tunnel itself goes north, and then it curves slightly to the west. The further it goes, you don't see much, but you do hear the sound of running water from further in.
That's good.
It is dark.
Can I tell if it sounds like sewer water or like an underground river?
It doesn't sound thick and ploppy. It sounds sort of like a smooth trickle.
Okay. I'll come back and wait for them to stop being interested in whatever's there. After I choke myself to death.
It's the odor. Yeah. Not much else in this space.
I think there's running water ahead. It doesn't sound as sludgy and toxic, so that might be a good sign.
Should follow it.
Following running water is usually a good idea.
Sure. No objections from me.
You continue on. Yes. Yes, okay. Continuing through. The tunnel is less oozy. There are small trails here and there, but much less than what you just were trudging through. And as you walk, sort of small streams of water leak out like it's sort of just trailing gently along the floor. Nothing, and not enough to like splash up onto you, but you follow the tunnel, curves for a second before you see this very small waterfall sort of emanating from a grate up on the roof, trailing into this large pool before you.
How large of a pool?
It is about 20 feet wide, 40 feet deep, and on the far end... Oh, and the water goes down about another 20-ish, 25 feet. Like this large pool of gathered water. On the far end of this room, there is like a grate in the wall, like a sewer grate, leading into water beyond.
So this is being fed by a grate above, and then is it draining through that other grate on the other side of the room?
It's the only other place the water can flow through that you see. So,
Yeah, but this pool seems very deep.
It is pretty deep. It's sort of just like a long grate. It comes up just below the water surface and then goes down to almost the bottom. It's about 10 feet wide, and there are horizontal slats every about 6 inches.
That's not ideal. And does the water go to either side of the room, or is there room to walk around?
It goes side to side. There are 2 little outlets on either side. But they only extend about 10 feet.
I'm not sure Ray of Frost would be enough, but could I cast Ray of Frost on the water?
Yeah. You cast Ray of Frost on the surface of the water. And about like a 3-foot diameter, just little like an iceberg, like a tiny little ice, just a little plate of ice on the water floating there.
But not enough to hold anybody.
It could maybe hold Plip.
Let's go! Plip
Small enough.
skimboards across the whole
Can
thing?
I, because it's a cantrip, can I like keep doing it till there's enough of it, like a thick enough ice for?
It'd be more like skipping a rock. For
Yeah,
Plip.
I guess it's true.
Yeah. The more you cast it, it gets bigger, but it doesn't look very integrous. Like, it doesn't seem very thick.
Yeah.
Plip will walk up to it and sort of like tap on it with his soulless sandaled frog foot.
It's cold.
Just to see.
That's pretty neat.
Can I smell the water? Does it smell toxic at all?
So, one thing I didn't mention about the water.
It
It's
is roiling
pretty-
with tentacles.
There.
A giant shark comes out of it.
So on the water surface, there seems to be little blotches of floating ooze. It's not like drinkable water, but it does seem like salt water. Most of the water's clear. These batches of ooze just seem to be just floating. They're very small, almost like oil bouncing on the water surface. Most of it does seem clean, if that's what you're wondering.
Kind of, yes. And salt water. Are we near enough to the coast that this would make sense to be from the ocean?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Mathera is a coastal city.
And where we are in the sewers is close enough to the actual beach, quote unquote.
Yes. So
Okay.
where you are, I can show you the Mathera map.
Hey, yo!
So the sanctuary was about here. I need my drawing.
I
It's
have
about here.
osteoporosis.
Oh, welcome to this map. So sanctuary was about this area here. And where you've gone seems to have been like up and then curve left. This is filling in. I don't want it to fill in. Fill. None. Thank you. So you went like this, and then you curved up. There was the kind of like the pool there, the cutoff room there, and then back up. This is the saltwater pool.
Interesting.
So there's a boat dock here, so it's pretty close in proximity.
Okay.
I'm just gonna take a quick look if that's okay with everybody.
Oh, don't
Plip.
go alone though.
Oh, I'm not going all the way in. I'm just gonna stick my head in. If I start to get sucked in by something, please grab my feet.
And Plip will walk over to
boy.
the water and stick his face in.
This can
Okay.
only go well.
You stick your face in, Your face doesn't burn off, which is a first good sign.
Hell yeah.
You stick your face in. You're not really used to salt water. It feels different.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it burns just a little bit, but it's not bad. You stick your face in, and you look around the room. There seems to be like little bits of like just like stuff that's like cluttered on the bottom, almost like a wishing well, just like random shit just scattered, settled. No ooze seems to be like coming at you, but it does look like at the bottom of the pool there are little cracks that like a lava lamp, the ooze just like kind of like tiny little bits pop and then float to the surface. But it's very, very slow. It's not threatening in any way, but it does let you know that there's ooze somewhere below this as well.
And when you say cracks, small cracks that people could not swim down into.
Yes, small cracks, maybe like an inch wide at the most.
Okay.
But at the rate this is going, it might be smaller than that beneath the surface.
Okay. He looks around down there for a decent amount of time, and incidentally, if anyone's paying close attention, you would see his skin moving and seemingly reacting in an interesting way because he's breathing through his skin as frogs do underwater.
Cool.
And then he'll pop up. Well, there are some cracks in the bottom, and I think there's ooze coming up from below. So the source might still be further down, but we can't get down there from here. And there's the grate is not openable on the other side, right? Like there's not
from
an
where you're
opening,
standing.
a gate. Okay.
You can't see whatever mechanism is there.
I'm gonna take out him.
Yes.
For the
Oh
love of
my
God.
god.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Oh my gosh, yes!
I'm gonna little jar. Hi him.
But you can understand him as you
Let's
speak primordial.
Go! What does he say?
You hear him say, "Oh hi, it's been so long. What's
Oh.
going on?"
We gotta talk
We
to
haven't
Flip more,
fed him.
guys.
Quickly cast comprehend languages.
Okay. Well, what are we doing? Everyone seems intent.
Well, we're in the sewers, Thyra, and
Hmm.
I'll point to the pool that we're in front of. We need to get across that. There's oozes, though, that might be dangerous. Would you be able to go and see if there's a way to open the grates on the other side? But if the oozes come and attack you, you come back here right away.
Okay. I can look.
Thank you.
Just nods his head at you. Without eyes, looks over at Plip, like inspecting closely for a sec,
Mhm.
and then
And just for
Looks
the
like
record,
it.
Theo has been talking to him. It's just
he has attachment issues.
I haven't abandoned him.
Is he out of the bottle?
He's been poking his head up out of the bottle,
Oh,
like sitting on the lip of it.
okay.
If you have curious friends. If they're gonna travel across, I could give them a little help. Just a little. If that's alright with you, Water? Do you have a name?
They call me him.
Oh, alright, him. Oh, would that be alright if I just gave you a little magical help?
Yeah.
Plip will waddle up and cast guidance on him.
As you cast guidance on him, you see a little, tiny little mote of light, about like the size of the end of your pinky, just like glow inside of his aqueous form.
Let's go.
The well, thank you. And then readies himself to be thrown into the water.
I'll lower him gently into the water.
Okay. Curiously, as him goes into the water, while water elementals usually disappear like completely when they enter the water, you do track his movement as you see the little mote of light like swim across the pool towards the grate and then disappear on the other side of the grate. Can you wait for 30 seconds? 60 seconds? 2 minutes? Before you see the mote of light swim back and pop his little head out of the water. There's a crank. It's really far though. It seems like the next room is completely flooded to the roof. But there's a closed grate on the floor.
How big does the crank look?
Incidentally, anyone who hears Plip speaking hears him speaking to him in Primordial. Except, I guess, Theo, who would hear it, understanding what it is.
It's about, I don't know how long measurement is. And just sort of like swims from one spot to another about a foot apart. It's about that big. But it's like, I can't describe the room very well. So it looks down at the water and then back up at you.
Would I know if rope trick works underwater? Like, does the extra dimensional
Ooh.
space
Oh!
Ooh!
Oh
Filled with
Jesus!
water?
For fuck's sake!
Okay,
Here we
we're
go again.
asking the tough questions here tonight.
Oh boy.
Okay. I mean, you can certainly try. You don't know the exact outcome, but thinking about it logistically, if you had it upside down, water can't flow upwards anyway. So maybe?
It'd be like taking a canoe underwater. Theoretically. Maybe.
Yeah.
Mythbusters tested that, doesn't work.
For the love of
Damn it,
Christ.
Pirates of the Caribbean!
Liars!
Yeah,
You
it's a
lied to me?
pirate, so
If it worked for Jack Sparrow, it works for me.
How
Really?
far away is the grate?
It's at the end of this 30-foot pool.
I can hold my breath long enough to swim across. And...
But it's too big for you to get through.
I thought there
and
was
the-
a crank though.
Or is the crank
It's
on
on the-
this side?
It's on the other side.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever considered lighting it on fire? Just light the ooze
Is it
pool on
like
fire.
so? The crank's on the other side. I'm tempted. I want to go like if it's is it like bolted in or could you like pull on the grate?
The whole
don't know
room
yet.
looks kind of old. It could potentially break and fall out. You'd need to go inspect it. It's about 5 feet under the water, the top of this grate.
That's okay. Okay,
So it's not very far.
I'll go swim in the water.
We can also walk around the outside.
The outside only goes 10 feet into the 30 feet.
Oh, 10 feet forward. I thought you meant 10 feet inwards.
Yeah,
Well,
so
I guess we're swimming.
Yeah, let me go first.
I am
see if
not
I can
going
even
through
open
that
the grate.
fucking thing.
Can I come with you, just so you're not alone?
You are welcome to. I'm not gonna
Alright.
stop you.
Stellix, do you mind going with them too?
I can go with them, yeah.
Alright, creepy skull.
You can't hear this, only Theo can hear this.
I'll take Scotty off my shoulder and
So
give
many
Scotty.
pets.
Who's closest? I guess I'll just give Scotty to Theo.
Holding this fluffy little fox.
He's gonna die
Plip
down
swings
here.
his shield up onto his back.
Still
And looks-
glowing. It is still dark in this room. So Plip has the only source of light.
Damn.
Oh, and then alright,
Well, I'm
get on
coming
my-
with you.
Get on my back. I'll dive in.
I'm alright.
Okay. I'll step back, run, and do a dive and swim to the grate.
All right.
Plip will do the same behind her.
I drew a little diagram in the corner of the map if you guys care.
Oh,
yes.
shit.
Little diagram.
It is a little
Thyra
diagram.
was here.
Thyra, land is there. This is the grate.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong corner.
Osteoporosis.
Oh my god.
All right. So we have Theo, Scotty, Felix, and Hailstorm. Or is Hailstorm in the water?
I'm not going in that shit.
He was
Okay.
looking at the osteoporosis corner.
I got osteoporosis.
I got osteoporosis. Okay. So you dive in. The water's it's actually pretty nice. It's almost like pool water. Just other than the pieces of ooze sort of floating on the top, it's pretty nice. It's clear. You do get that salt water smell and feel in your nose, but it's easy enough to swim across.
Do I see any cracks that are big enough to even see through, or are they all just like hairline?
Which cracks? The cracks in the ground?
Yes.
You can go and investigate.
And it's how deep?
25 feet.
I will do that. I will swim down to a crack that looks less oozy and thick. The least oozy and most thick that I can find.
You're looking for
Okay.
the least oozy but thick crack.
So,
Correct!
incidentally, the ones
That's
that are the thickest are the
fucking
most
nasty.
oozy. Because the most
No.
ooze is leaking out of them.
Incorrect.
Alright, I'll take a little... I need to find one that I can see into, so I'm prioritizing seeing in and trying to avoid any ooze that's blooping out.
Okay, so... I
I will cast guidance as myself as I swim. On myself
Okay.
as I swim as well.
So,
Mm.
the ooze isn't constantly streaming out of them. It's more like it builds up into a bubble
Mhm.
and then pops and rises to the surface.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of on repeat.
So I will attempt to look in one right after a bloop.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
Ah. With a D4 at least.
With
Come
the
on,
D4.
Oh, let's go. Natural 19
Ooh.
for
Nice.
a 21.
21. Okay. 21. So you wait for an ooze bubble to pop and then look down. In a brief moment, before it begins filling quickly up with ooze again, you see this crack just sort of go down for feet, maybe tens, maybe dozens of feet down, before the ooze creeps up again. You do, with a 21, for a brief moment, it looks like there's something like backlit for a brief moment, very, very far down. There was a sort of like a purple bluish hue before it quickly fills up again, streaming up, and then blops up back at the surface.
Okay. Plip will swim quickly back up, probably almost catch up to Thyra, even with his... Unless Thyra has a swimming speed. And quietly plop out of the water onto the landing. Is there a landing?
The only landing is where you came from.
Damn, okay. He will not plop out. He'll come up alongside her at the grate.
All right.
I have a movement speed of 40, but I don't know if that equates to swimming.
If you don't have a swim speed, that means it's 20.
Yep.
Okay.
Which means it's barely slower than me, because I'm a 25-foot speed creature.
LOL.
So-
Are we at the grate?
You do make it to the grate.
Okay. I'll try and muscle it out.
All right.
Guidance.
Oh, dang.
You dive. You dive under the water and brace yourself against the wall.
Can I like freeze it to like try and like
Brittle it?
yeah, freeze the metal?
Sure.
Make it more brittle.
Sure. It does look slightly rusted already.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
You grab onto one of. Are you trying to pull off the whole thing or just like a few bars?
The whole thing, I guess. Make it as big as possible. I'm a big person, so I'm gonna need a bit more space than anybody else.
Yeah, that is true. So you grab onto a few of them, a few feet apart, and try to wedge out the entire frame. Sort of freezing it as you go. Make a strength check
With a D4.
with a D4. Thank you, D4. At disadvantage because you're underwater.
Ah, poop.
Oh, they're okay. That's get in the hole, please. Wow, that's good.
True.
Okay, +7. Oh, that's a saving throw. +4. 16.
16 total.
Mm-hmm. I rolled a 9 and an 8.
So, freezing it does help significantly. As you brace yourself on the tiled walls of this place. It's pretty slick, these tiles, sort of with a small amount of mildew that's built up on them. So you try to catch your foot as best as possible as you strain against the force of the water. It does begin to crack in places. Because of how you're having to pull it, it seems like the bars that you're holding onto are breaking faster than the frame itself. But you do begin wedging the metal off and sort of pulling it out of the bolts that it's been locked into. It does take a significant portion of your breath to build up the strength to pull it off. So it's going to take a few more tries with a few more breaths, most likely.
Okay. Do you want me to write a Constitution saving throw to see how long I can stay under?
Yeah. If you want to stay under as long as you can,
Yeah.
you can make a con save.
Plip is kind of treading
that's
water
good.
underwater next to her, casting guidance as needed, and looking out for any oozes headed this way.
That So natural 17 plus 6, so 23.
23. All right, you're able to stand her for a good portion. You have a very high constitution already. But slowly wedging it off. Plip, as you keep a lookout, you do see like a garbage patch of ooze begin coming your way.
If I swim a little bit towards it and like thrust my shield out with the light on it towards it, does it react at all?
You trying to see if it reacts to the light?
Yes.
You push your shield out towards it. Not much is happening. Other than you like pushing the water itself. The light
And how
doesn't
far
seem to
away
do
is it
much.
from us?
It's about 15 feet and slowly making its way over.
I'll have
Okay,
Stella
in bet-
cast Shocking Grasp.
Hey, yo.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
In the water?
You're on land
15
and
feet away.
they're over by the grate.
But I
But
can
Stella
cast
Casting it
can
through
do it?
skeleton. Through skeleton.
Through Stellic!
An
Oh, I
electricity spell in underwater?
Underwater?
Oh,
An underwater
I mean,
electricity
it's
spell?
a cantrip. It's not lightning bolt. It might not blow
That's
us all
true.
up.
That's not... Well,
But no,
I'm
okay.
also
but, like-
poisoned and dying. So this is the choice. I made.
True.
But
Valid.
Okay.
but
Well, I
I
guess
think
the game is
Shocking
over,
Bolt
guys.
specifically, like, you have advantage if someone's like wearing metal or something conductive to hit it.
The
I
same
think
with
it's
Shocking
just
Grasp.
metal. I'm fairly certain it's literally just metal. I don't think it's if it's conductive.
But like
It's
I feel like if it's metal, it should be with water too, because water's
Lightning
just as
springs
It's
from
conductive.
also a
hand to the
cantrip.
wrist. It is
Yeah.
also a cantrip. Okay,
Okay.
you have Stellic go touch it with its face, because that's what it is.
Target is wearing armor made of metal.
He boops it with his snoot.
He boops it with its non-existent snoot.
Snoot hole, I guess.
Does he? It's still make an attack roll against the patch of ooze.
It is still me. Huh?
You're
Yeah.
gonna piss off the entire hive mind.
I don't think that matters because it's a 3 plus.
Oh boy!
What do I add? Is it wisdom?
For Stellic? Or
For
your
my
attack rolls are just
roll.
intelligence?
Or intelligence?
Yeah, 8 plus proficiency plus
Plus-
intelligence.
11.
11? Okay. This little electrified skull goes and puts itself against the patch of ooze. And you see the electricity kind of bounce across its surface, and then parts of it begin to break off into smaller bits.
Okay.
So instead of one patch of like 10 foot by 5 foot, it's now like 3 patches of 3 by 3 floating. One of them seems to be coming towards you. One of them seems to be going towards the back wall, and the other goes back in the direction it came.
I will swim over to Thyra, just tap her and point, so she knows.
It looks easier to dodge now.
The ooze?
Important question, DM.
Yes.
Can I cast verbal spells underwater since I can breathe underwater, or nah?
You can breathe underwater, so you can.
Okay.
Cool.
If you're able to
While-
get air, you're able to speak. Although
while
it may not
Thyra
sound
works,
like speaking.
I will cast Toll the Dead on the one that's coming towards us.
Oh.
I will move my right hand and form this ball of water, and then slam it against my shield, and there's this dong that reverberates out on the creature. It makes a
Okay.
wisdom save.
It's not very wise, and that was a terrible roll. It fails.
Is it missing HP, or is this a new creature with its own HP?
I
If-
would say it's missing HP. It was a
If I
split.
grass hit, I would have taken damage.
Fucking hell. 6 necrotic damage, which may not do anything now that I think about it.
It doesn't do anything.
Damn it! Well, that's what I got, folks. He'll look back at Thyra and hope she's making progress.
It does look like a little wobbly ooze for a second as it gets donged. It does, I will say it does change the path and it's not floating directly overhead anymore.
Okay.
But Thyra, you feel this kind of reverberation in your chest as this gong echoes through the water. But you have made enough space for maybe Plip to get through the grate at this point.
Can we see the lever crank?
Okay.
Cronk?
The Kronk. You look through the grate and you see this more narrow room. It does go back up into like what seems like a little platform. With a small, like, foot wide little twisting crank. If you stick your head all the way through, you do see above the grate little grooves in the wall with sort of like a chain mechanism to pull the grate fully open. There does seem like a drain at the bottom of the room. That goes further down, but there does seem like a little bit of air above the surface of the next room.
Which
But it's
is a
only
ways
about...
up.
It's
Water
only
level.
about the same level of... Well, slightly higher. It's about 10 feet up from the grate. It's not super high. But there is a very small platform. It's much narrower.
Okay, Plip will look at Thyra after she's made the hole this big, point at himself, and point at the grate. And give her an inquisitive grung face look.
I don't want you to go by yourself in case you get eaten. I'll give you a moment, like, hey, let me give one last push. I don't know how to say that. Like,
I mean, if you
It's
just grab it
mine
and yank again, I won't go through while you're yanking.
yeah, I'll give you like
What?
hold on just a second as I try to give like one last big pull to get it out.
Make one last strength check as you try to just give it one big tug.
Okay.
Again, with disadvantage because you're underwater.
Okay. So
Plip does not give you guidance.
well,
Huh? Oh, I've been giving guidance throughout.
Okay.
I said that.
Mhm.
Whenever needed.
that's a lot better. That's a lot better. Okay, that is 12 plus 4 is 16 plus 3 is 19.
19. Okay. With the work you've done already and your freezing of the bars really does help as you give it one last tug. That slow-mo underwater tug. You do break it enough to where you could fit yourself in sideways. Like you could pull yourself through.
I will go above water, take a breath. And like motion for the others that it's open.
Those of you back in the room have just been watching this struggle between Thyra and the grate and the water. Felix, you can only see because of Plip's illuminated shield, which is just casting this gentle water reflection all across the ceiling and the walls. It's very vibey in here, despite
It's like
it.
a pool light. It's like a pool
Yeah,
light.
it's like a pool light.
Real.
In an
Okay.
indoor pool with all the rest of the lights off.
I'm gonna need a hit of that pipe.
But you do watch from a distance as Thyra opens up enough of this grate where you could fit yourselves through.
I'm gonna swim back over so Scotty can ride on my back. So Scotty doesn't have to get wet until Scotty has to get wet.
It's cute.
Oh, okay. So you create a little raft with yourself. Or it looks like an otter mama with her otter baby on her belly. Is it like that?
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
Sort of gently floating back with Scotty. Hailstorm and Felix. Nico just walked away again. I'm gonna kick his ass.
Well, while we
What am I
wait
doing?
for him to decide what he's doing, Plip will swim in a few feet and just shine with his shield and see if there's anything else in this room that seems problematic.
Okay. Are you going to the surface, or how far are you looking?
No.
Okay,
Like
just under the
5
water?
to 10 feet in, yeah, just centrally in the depth,
Okay. So allow me to
to
set
where
the scene
his
for you.
to where his light can fill up as much of the room as possible, ideally.
So this room is only about as wide as the grate.
Gyat?
It's not as deep, or it's not as far in. There is a small platform on the other side. This looks almost like a maintenance section of these aqueducts. There is like a closed grate, circular in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
In here, there are like a few other cracks in the ground, not as big. There doesn't seem to be as much ooze seeping out. There's very tiny little speckles, almost like you're spraying like cooking spray on like a bowl of water. Very little speckles of ooze. From this angle, you don't see much. You do see the small little crank mechanism on the far wall, and then another darkened sort of passageway.
And that platform is how far into the... Oh, it's all the way into the room, so how deep is the room?
This room, if this room's 30 feet, this room's only like 15 feet deep.
Okay. He will not go across the room. He'll just take this in and then swim back to the grate and up to the surface and watch. See if everyone's going to come.
Okay. So, Hailstorm, Theo, and Felix, the grate is open. You are able to swim through.
Do I have to go in that fucking thing?
From the other side.
There is a crank. It could possibly drain it, but I'm not sure. Do you want me to try?
I do not want to get covered in whatever the fuck this stuff is.
All right.
And Plip will swim in and over
Oh
to the
God.
platform. And frog, like, plop out of the water up onto the platform very gracefully.
All right. You hop up. Before you, you see this crank, and then you also see this passageway. It looks like not the same material as the rest of the room. It looks like it's turning back into those haphazard tunnels. But more so as if the tunnel has just been broken with time. You crank it?
Two things briefly. One,
Yes.
do I see any mechanisms throughout the room or connected to the crank at all that would suggest what this actually does?
Yes. Based on what you've spotted earlier, this crank seems to be connected to the grate that Thyra has already broken open.
Okay.
Nothing that you see indicates opening the drain at the bottom,
Okay.
which
And
seems
then-
to be like a already like kind of slit open, letting water trickle through gradually.
So it looks a little bit like bathtub with the drain partially open situation almost?
Almost.
Okay.
But it's not creating like a whirlpool or anything.
Okay. Also, incidentally, though no one can see it, but for the future and for spectators, Plip does not seem to care about the water that's all over him, and his clothes seem to wick it off a little bit, like they're made from a material that would do that decently well. He'll try to turn the crank briefly and see what happens.
You try to turn it, but the grate seems to be getting stuck from where it's been bent inwards.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Come on.
As the grate is
Alright.
like banging against
He'll give up on
the
that.
opening.
And he will swim down and look at the drain and see if it could be easily opened.
All right, you look at the drain. It seems clogged, very heavily.
Cool.
It probably could be opened if it was cleaned out, because there does seem to be like excess residue over time, like mildew, build up. Pieces of ooze have been stuck and caked into it.
Do you have resuscitation, Hallia?
Nope.
Yeah, okay.
If we
Does
took a
it
long
look
rest,
like
then
something?
yes.
Does it look like something I could pull out this gunk, or not really?
How strong's your pull-out
Um,
game?
Jesus,
Not
Lord and
very.
Christ.
Unless it's Constitution. If it's a Constitution check, then that might not be bad.
It probably take a bit of effort. It looks possible, but it would take more time to do so.
To clean it
Okay.
out?
Yes. It's like trying to pull like the largest hairball from the drain.
Hot.
Can I hand you a javelin to like, stick in there?
Okay. Before I do that, let me ask the DM another question.
Yes.
How creative would you allow spiritual weapons to be?
Pretty creative.
Okay.
You're creating
I'm
a
gonna
giant pipe cleaner.
Kind of like a hook,
This
situation.
is actually the most...
Okay.
Alright.
I'm gonna swim back, pop up out of where the grate was, above surface. So the crank, was for the grate, which doesn't work anymore. But there's a drain at the bottom, and I might be able to unclog it. It's pretty dirty right now. Maybe just give me a minute. Oh, Miss Thyra, I guess you might be able to help if you want.
I could try, yes.
There's a lot of gunk.
Yeah. Alright. Is it underwater?
It is underwater.
Yeah, give Scotty back to Theo and I'll go underwater.
It is about 25 feet underwater.
Jesus.
Oh,
Alright. Take a
God.
big breath.
Uh-huh.
Go underwater.
Yep. All right. So giant hook, pipe cleaner, and then some javelins from Thyra. I need
Yes.
Thyra to make a strength check. And Plip make a wisdom check.
Okay. Guidance?
Oh, thanks. On you or me?
On me.
Okay.
Damn.
That's fine. That's
Feels
fine.
bad, man.
It's
Ooh, that's-
okay.
That's really, really good. Straight wisdom, you said?
Wisdom check.
25.
Straight strength, not athletics.
With proficiency, because you're both proficient in your stuff.
28.
Oh, okay, so with a proficiency?
Yeah, so pretty much a
Oh.
save.
Okay.
Equivalent of a
okay,
save.
plus 7 then. Then that is a 26.
Damn!
Yeah, you guys both rolled really high.
25, 25.
With combined efforts, you are now a plumber's best friend.
We're the Mario Brothers.
You are the Mario Brothers as you clear out this pipe very efficiently, pulling out long, like rotted gunk
Ugh.
and ooze.
Ugh.
We should be contracted by the city to do this.
Real.
Honestly,
I don't think this. I really don't think this
kind of
like
are.
follows OSHA
That's way true.
regulations.
Wait,
This
we are.
doesn't-
as you
This-
guys,
This is not safe. You don't even have a hard hat.
Yeah. OSHA
I have a
is-
soft
OSHA's
hat.
keeling over right now.
If it's a top hat.
as you both dislodge the gunk, you both realize your proximity to the drain as all this water
Oh.
begins to quickly
Oh no.
funnel
Oh, yeah.
out. I need both
Oh,
of you
yeah.
to make strength saves
Oh.
to avoid
yeah,
being
but-
pulled into this drain.
Y'all ever
Hey.
see flushed away?
Hey DM, I
Yeah,
totally
flush.
have advantage because I'm a swim speeding grung, right?
I'm gonna cast rope trick right in front of them,
You can't see this happen. You're all the way on land.
but I'm looking through Stilix.
You are looking through Select. Can Select cast Rope Trick?
I can cast it through.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, for the
Okay.
love of God.
It's the most broken spell in the game.
It
It's
is
so
what-
dumb.
Have an encounter with terrain issues? Just
Dude,
cast
the
Rope
fall-
Trick.
Man, the Fallout universe wouldn't exist if rope trip. Like literally, all you have to do.
Literally.
Let me just hop in rope trip while the nuclear fucking fusion goes by my goddamn
It would
head.
protect you. So you cast Rope Trick. The rope falls. It doesn't sink through the water. It rises to the top. So you guys have a few moments to catch this rope. So we'll either give you the option of making a dex save to catch the rope or a strength save to resist the water.
I'm gonna go with the strength save, DM.
All
Are
right.
you sure?
Do I have advantage on either because of my swimming, or no?
You would have advantage on the swim one.
On the dex
Wow,
one?
that's some really close math then.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that. Plip's gonna try to swim away because that would be his instinct, given his nature.
It's disadvantage? Or no?
It is a straight strength.
Straight?
God, one's really bad.
Great
You got this.
strength.
You're so strong.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm so freaking strong.
Bro. 11?
It's above a 10.
Oh, well,
He's a fake frog,
Oh my gosh.
not a real frog.
Okay.
Well, actually, I'm a tree frog.
Actually, 11 and 12. Okay. You don't immediately get sucked in.
okay. Jesus.
Immediately. You are being pulled, almost like a rip current. You feel yourself almost swimming in place. And it is exhausting, especially to you, Thyra, who's not used to the water.
Can I cast Ray of Frost on the drain for a second to give us like a minute to get out of that current?
Oh, okay. Now reclog the drain.
You were really
Well, it
trying
would
to
break
find,
because it's,
you were
it's
trying
just
to
a
find
ray
true.
of
every
frost.
use of this
It is just a
cantrip.
ray of frost. You turn back and throw your hand out towards it. You almost see like a line of frost form in the water, like a line of ice where it's being aimed, which quickly breaks away and gets pulled towards the drain. But there is a moment where you clog off enough of it where you have like just a moment to maybe reach out towards this rope and
Okay.
What
Prevent
is the
yourself from getting
diameter
sucked
of the hole?
the drain.
Yes.
It's about 5 feet wide.
Oh, fucking hell. Okay.
This is a big
It's pretty
drain.
big. It's a big
So
drain.
So we both get a chance at a deck save, is that what you're saying?
Yes. So
Okay.
with that, you both get a
Alrighty.
chance at a dex save to grab the rope.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 19.
Hey, that's good.
You have advantage, by the way.
Why do I have advantage?
Well, it's an effect you can see, and you're a barbarian. Unless you're not.
You're not a barbarian.
Does that count?
Wait, what? What? Wait, what?
I'll
You
do
have
that.
advantage on
On
dex
dex
saves against
saves.
effects you can see if you're a normal barbarian.
Oh.
I rolled a 10 in the meantime.
Okay.
So I think I'm
Does
going
that
on a little
count? Does that
magical
count,
journey,
Leah?
everybody.
Hi, Flip.
Oh, on like
But-
dex saving throws. I
Yes.
do. He's right. I guess that would count. Okay, I'll roll again. I
Unless
got an
the water's
18, so
invisible.
that's a dirty 20.
Wow.
Nice.
From good to better. Okay. For the sake of saving Plip's life, I will give you the option to make that dex save to also grab Plip.
I mean,
Oh,
where are
me?
we going
Yeah,
with
I'll
this
grab him.
train?
The train is down somewhere, you have no clue.
I'll like
We never saw
extend
Flip
my
again.
hand out again while the rope's being like pulled up and like freeze his hand to like with Ray of Frost, so like my hand's frozen and frozen to his hand as like we're pulled.
And you both lose your hands.
To attach
Frostbite's
it.
a motherfucker.
To attach it.
To attach it. Okay, I will say with the help of Ray of Frost to kind of bind the water between you two, and with that really high dex save, you grab the rope, you grab Plip, and hold on as you feel the force of the water pull you towards the drain. The rest of you see the water level in the room begin to decrease.
Both rooms?
In both rooms, as it gets all of the water from both rooms drains through into this drain. The puddles of ooze float with the surface down to the ground, where you now see these pretty decent-sized piles of this like black tar just
Cool.
kind of floating on the thin surface of the thin layer of
Heroin?
water still on the floor. There's about 3 to 5 feet of water left on the ground. But Thyra and Plip, you are now out of the water. Thyra, you finally get a breath of air. Hanging on to this rope that's hanging from midway.
So I
up
have
from the
one
room.
hand on the rope and then one hand holding Plip.
Yep, you're about 15 feet from the ground.
Oh! Jesus.
I'll slide my way down to the ground.
Hot.
The rest of you are 25 feet from the bottom of the empty pool in the other room.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
All right, I think you can come across now.
All right. That went surprisingly well.
Boring. I was hoping someone would drown.
I can't tell if you're being serious or not.
Look me in the eye.
Make an insight
Alright.
check.
Jesus
What?
Christ. Oh, wow. That's actually really good. It's like 20.
It's 100% telling the truth.
Hmm.
It would have been fun. Dramatic.
Right. That's what we need right now. Of
Look,
course.
you're the one walking into places threatening people with guns.
What?
Well, the drain awaits. I go down.
Yep.
25-foot drop. I need you to make acrobatics checks to slide across the side to reduce the damage you're going to take from dropping.
I cast Featherfall.
Never mind. You don't get
Can I
to
just,
do
can I
anything.
just catch you guys? Can I just catch them?
If
That
I
was
give
the
if I give
spell.
Featherfall, I'm doing backflips.
Real.
All right, you float less fast towards the ground at a rate that's not damaging to you.
I'm doing backflips.
You do about 3.
Yep, and I land
And
on
then
my
hit the
feet.
ground.
Yep. Ta-da.
Interestingly, the grate on the other side of the room is really high up. The break of where Thyra opened it is about 20 feet off the ground. 15 to 20.
Oh, they didn't swim over yet?
The pool is empty on their side, so they
They
are
have to
now
walk
on
over.
the bottom of the grate where you broke the
Oh.
top of the grate.
I don't understand the logistics of this fucking building.
Okay.
So,
So,
I'm
just
confused.
just
Where
so
are we
I can
going?
understand the dynamics, they have to go across the pool that I originally swam over,
Yeah, they
Climb
walk across the
up.
bottom.
climb up, go through the grate, and then climb down to where Plip and I are in
Yes.
the other. Okay, cool.
You guys are
Just-
gonna have to climb up.
Got it. Got
Okay,
it.
I'll
got it.
climb.
All right. Make me some athletics checks. It's pretty slick. It's not a high DC.
9.
Okay.
5.
Okay.
Athletics,
Yep.
13.
Okay. Felix, you lead the charge. You're like, okay.
Me? I lead the charge?
You have the 13, my guy.
Oh god.
As you make your way up, you look back down. Where you've climbed, the railings have sort of like snapped in places from having like tension put on them that's not normally supposed to be there. So as Hailstorm and Theo attempt to climb up, things are breaking under their hand. They're slipping from the sort of like just calcified like slime across the sides of the rails. They're having a much more difficult time getting up. And then you crest the top, squeeze your way through, and make your way down past them and slip on a few bars, but land on the other side.
So it's just Theo and I still on the other side.
Yeah.
Do
Although
is there a wall or is it like bars? Like, can we see through it?
you can see through it.
And I see them struggling.
Yeah.
For the love of, do I have to do everything?
No, you can
Else.
sit there and then shut up. I'm gonna get this. And Hailstorm's gonna go again.
Okay.
13! Fuck you!
All right. You shake yourself off and go at it again. This time knowing where the weak bars are, going around them, scampering up the top, and then sliding down in the same way that Felix did on the other side.
Sort of
About a
like
9.
tries to clear shit off. This is stupid coming down here.
Then go back up. Clearly don't be here.
Don't tempt me.
Theo, do you need help?
I rolled a 9.
She says in character.
I rolled a 9. What the? Okay. I'm playing games right now, Theo. I'm trying to climb a wall.
Honesty stuff.
So
You
based.
missed.
Don't waste
So
the spell. I can
based.
just get
Nope, so based.
you. Don't
Yeah.
waste the
Commit.
spell.
Use the spell.
Use the spell. Do it.
I'm
You know you
so low
want
on
to.
spells anyway.
Do it.
I did.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
He just, as you're looking across, Theo just dissipates and then appears behind you.
Okay,
We're
come
all
on.
going to be doing 10 pull-ups a day from now on.
I have an
magic.
exemption from that. The
Plip
doctor
raises
knows.
his hand. Can I do less because I'm small?
No, you
Me
weigh
too.
less. You should do
Wait, no,
more.
you should do more.
There's-
Because
What?
it's easy. Because it's
Ah,
easier.
for fuck's sake, where are we going?
He points up at the landing with the tunnel.
Another 25 feet up.
Fuck
Oh,
it! And she's
damn
gonna
it, all.
sprint up as hard as she can. Double
Yeah.
dash. Fuck it. Woof.
Acrobatics or athletics?
Acrobatics. Technically, she
American
has
Ninja
mobile.
Warrior.
If a
Oh, you do.
She has mobile, so dashing over difficult terrain doesn't do anything. But I don't know if dashing really affects anything here.
Make an acrobatics check.
14.
Okay. See, American Ninja Warrior style, you take a breath, get a running start, and just do up the side of the wall. You sort of, your fingers almost brush the edge. I'll let you make a dex save to grab on.
Okay. Come on, Obama.
Do you have an
Fucking-
Obama dice?
Correct. Absolutely.
No
Uh,
way.
14 again.
Okay, you grab on with one hand. Your fingers grasp the edge of the landing.
Did she pull herself up?
Yeah, you can pull yourself up.
I'll look to Theo and Plip. Would you like to try? Or would you just like a ride?
I don't think I can get up there.
Can you carry both of us?
I can carry both of you, do not worry about it.
Plip puts his hands up.
Uppies.
Puppies!
I'll have Theo grab onto my back and I'll have Plip like fireman carry like on the other side and I'll to like put both up and I'll guess I'll look to Felix as like I can try, or do you want to go by yourself?
I think I might be able to get up on my own.
Okay.
Appreciate
You
the
can
jet-
do it. I believe.
And I'll
Inspiration. Guidance,
Correct.
actually. Actually, guidance
Inspiration.
on Thyra.
Can I give inspiration? Because I'm so supportive.
so supportive.
A singular bardic inspiration die.
What do you
too.
say that says? What do you say that's so?
I said to Felix, I said,
Inspirational.
you can do it. I believe.
Wow.
I believe.
And then she
I'm
did a
so
cheerleader jump.
Inspired. Yes, and then she did. And then
I'll
she
give
flashed
you
her
a
tits.
+1, Felix.
Let's
Yes!
go!
Nice.
I'm so fucking goaded.
Gonna be the difference maker.
All right,
I really hope this makes it beat the DC.
I hope so.
all right, all right. So, Fezzik, as you're carrying two different people on your back, are you
You
just
were supposed to be
climbing?
this colossal thing! And yet he gains!
How are you getting up? It's pretty slick.
Hmm.
Did I make it up, or did I have to?
Well,
roll?
you need a roll. How are
Or-
you getting up?
Oh,
Are you
I'm
just
just climbing.
okay? It's a tile side.
Oh, good
Oh, it's.
lord.
Oh, I thought it was the grate. Oh, okay.
No, the grate's on the in between the rooms. You are in the second room that you're facing like a. It's pretty much like the side of a pool.
Okay. Can I take like ray of frost and make like pyates?
You make pitons out of
pitons, not like
out
but
of-
like not like something that goes into it, but like freezes the water that's still there, and like pull myself up on one, freeze, pull myself, freeze, pull myself.
like a frog, but with frost instead of sticky.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Like a
Like
yeah.
Ethan
I feel
Hunt.
like we're mixing the mechanics of Ray of Frost with Control
Yeah.
Water.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Let's not do that.
This is because you're bearing a lot of weight, and this is a cantrip.
Excuse me, Miss Hailstorm?
Mm-hmm.
Is there something to tie a rope to up there?
Hailstorm will look around.
There is the crank that's
The
affixed to the wall.
rusty crank.
You could, yeah.
This is gonna
There's
go
a
well.
crank.
Can I take my gunblade and just jam it into the fucking wall as hard as humanly possible?
Sure. Make a strength check.
Come on, this would be the natural 20.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
believe you.
I
Let's
don't care.
go.
I don't care what you believe. I
guess
rolled
that's
it.
how we're playing now.
Okay.
Holy
So
fuck.
in the doorway, in this little tunnel, there are some pieces of rubble, some like bits of stone that you could wedge your gunblade into, and you're like, that looks good, and you
Yeah.
frickin' slam it in. The rest of you hear this like reverberating, like hollow metal sound as it goes boom into the side.
She then peeks her head back out. Okay, this is and she'll grab her rope that of course she has because explorers backpacks are overpowered.
Yes.
And she'll tie a good knot to the like where in between where the handle and the trigger guard are. She'll go, okay, well, for fuck's sake. And she'll huck it down. You're just gonna
Alright.
have to trust me. I promise it's really, really stable.
Oh, I trust you. We should probably go one by one though, just to not over.
Do we
do it.
test with the big Thyra? Do we test with you? Because if it can hold you, it can hold everyone.
True. I could just go and just pull people up.
Yeah, if you can get up here.
Alright. I'll climb the rope.
Alright, make an athletics check.
Okay, let's do it.
Which is gonna be
I
super
believe.
easy for you.
I believe.
I know if I roll that like that. A 4 plus 7 is, 11.
11? It's not a difficult DC. It's climbing a rope. You're pretty adept at climbing ropes.
I'm just
at this
tired from
point.
not
Oh, the rope
breathing for
tricks,
like
yeah.
10 minutes.
You are tired of breathing, or tired of not breathing. Tired
She
from
is
not
tired of-
breathing.
I mean,
Tired
she is
breathing.
tired from breathing, let's be honest.
But you're able to make your way up fairly easily. The gunblade does creak slightly.
Hailstorm cringes a little bit deep down.
You feel it, you hear it kind of like scrape against the stone, like it's getting heavily scratched from this and heavily dulled from you slamming it into the rock. But you make it to the top. It doesn't fall out.
New Vegas.
Alright. I'll just start to. I'll put my hands, like, give a nod to Hailstorm and put my hands on the rope.
Can I
And
pull
wait
the
for someone
gunblade
to
out
grab
now?
it. And
Yeah,
I'll
you can pull
it.
I'm gonna
up.
pull it out slowly and like cringing deep down. Oh god, please be okay. Please be okay. Please be
Scratching
okay.
noise, like nails on the chalkboard, like
She'll pull
all
it out.
the way up.
She
yeah.
immediately sits down and takes out of her all of her bullshit in her hand and just starts fucking furiously fixing it.
But Thyra, you are able to easily pull people up.
As I pull people up, I'll look over to Hailstorm. I have some special oil if you need to help with the sharpening.
She'll look up very oddly and give a rock eyebrow. Special oil? What is-
It's a
That's-
fraying of make design.
That's remarkably suspect, I must say. I don't. A special oil. Can I see this?
1 second.
She's.
saying it.
I want to
Oh.
imagine. Yeah, I want to imagine you're not looking at whoever you're pulling up, and you're just talking with Hailstorm as you're pulling the rope casually.
As I get, I don't know, whoever comes up first, I'll throw a bottle of like fraying sharpening oil that she uses.
Dungeon Master, is this shit for real?
I'm
Hailstorm's
making
gonna
it up
look at
right
it.
now, but she would have, a recipe for, sharpness, what she does. She's taking care of weapons, so I
No,
would
but does it
assume-
Yeah.
matter? Does it actually do anything? I'm like
No,
analyzing what
it
it's.
smells almost like juniper berry. Like that cold like that cold
Hailstorm's gonna
weather
stick her.
plant smell.
She just flicks a little bit of it.
It doesn't taste good. It's sharpening oil that's just been infused with
Real.
herb.
Hopefully, I don't die from that. She'll drop a few things on it. Fuck it, and she'll start sharpening it up.
All right. The rest of you get pulled to the top pretty easily. Watching as you come up, you see Hailstorm hunched over her gunblade, just like very furiously trying to buff out all the scratches.
I'm rubbing one out of here. Just fucking rubbing out all of it.
Jeez.
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 But the tunnel before you lies dormant. At least for the most part.
Shield off the back.
Good work, everybody. That was very solid teamwork.
Yeah, well done.
Are you guys professionals?
Nope. Not at all.
Not exactly.
Oh. Well, maybe you should consider being professionals. I don't know who hires this kind of work, but... Anyway. Forward?
Onward.
Forward.
Onward.
All right. You guys continue through. This tunnel is much tighter than the previous. It's only like just enough to fit Thyra shoulder to shoulder. You have to like kind of move sideways to avoid getting scraped along the sides of your arms. It's pretty short too. It's only about like 5.5 feet high. Plip, you're having a fantastic time. The rest of you, well, Plip and Theo are fine. The rest of you have to duck or move sideways to scoot your way all the way through.
There is no good, very bad day.
Thyra's not built for this environment.
Was it her or Valkyra that got stuck the first time that we came down here into the south?
They got stuck?
Yeah, don't you
Winnie
remember
the
that one
Pooh?
of us got stuck while we were trying to move around in the south?
I don't
Very
remember.
very early on in the games.
It was one of you.
It was one of us.
Tall lasses. But it is very tight. Is the marching order the same? Hailstorm, Theo, Thyra, Plip, Felix?
Sure.
Sure.
I mean, I had thought that Plip. Well, I'm not on Thyra now, so I would say that now with
true.
the light, Plip is in the front.
Okay. So we have Plip at the front. Okay. Lighting up the way for the rest. Okay. So, Plip, Hail, Theo, Thyra, Felix. Squeezing your way through this very irregular tunnel. Sometimes it opens up enough where you don't have to stand sideways, that you can stretch out your neck a little bit. But most of it is very cramped, very broken in. There are points where you have to go completely sideways and flush against the wall to get through. And other points where you have to crouch down a bit deeper to make it past this overcrop. But eventually getting through into a space where it opens up once more. Far less ooze in this area. You've noticed it's nearly completely clear of that stench. at least immediately around you. Though the smell of salt water has mostly taken over your senses.
Do you get the sense that we've gone too far?
It's based on the map. You suspect. Let me draw it out for you.
The city map?
On the city map. So you suspect it kind of has moved like this. So you still have a river relatively nearby, but still in a vicinity that could very clearly have water. It's not out of the ordinary. But it opens up once more into a small little outcropping.
Are we generally going down or up, or just straight flat?
At this moment, through these, through this tunnel in particular, you do feel a semblance of like rising, very slightly.
Okay. Between the smell and that, I think Plip will briefly at this outcropping just turn back. Just to be sure, is the goal here to find where they're coming from? Because that seems like down.
I agree.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
we go a little further, but right now we're going up. It doesn't feel right.
Suppose we're just kind of exploring for now.
That's true. Okay.
But it is likely more productive to go down more than up.
Do we know where we can go to go down?
Go back to
Well,
the
unless we go down
pile
that
room.
drain. Out of curiosity, DM, did
Yes.
did any of us at any point while we were walking through and past that room look down the drain?
Nope.
Oh my god.
Hell yeah.
Ah, well, time to go
Hell
back.
yeah.
Well, since we've reached an opening, which is a change in the tight tunnel, Plip will continue forward a little bit just to see. After Felix's "we're exploring" comment.
Okay. About how far forward would you like to go? Like how many feet, minutes do you walk?
Well, I want to see if this thing opens up into a room and then there's another tight tunnel, or if everything opens up. I just kind of want to get a lay of the land of the change here.
Okay. So you move forward. The tunnel gets wider. And the sound of water becomes louder. You move forward a bit, and you see the tunnel slightly curves to the right, but to the left, there is a small opening into another darkened room. But continuing at this slight right curve, you do see a stream of water cutting through the stone. You're unsure where it originates from, but this is about 20 feet down and curving to the right.
Well, there's a couple different ways to go here. Do we want to try to look back at the drain or go this way?
I don't know. Someone pick.
Oh, right here. I'll look a little bit ahead. Oh, well, feel free to come with me, though. I don't know what's in there. I'll head towards the dark room that seemed to come off the main tunnel, just to look inside.
All right, you peer inside this room, and you see what seems to be old catacombs, like very, very, very old. There are a few pillars in the center of the room. It's not a huge room by any means, but you do see in the walls kind of these outcroppings with what you can assume used to be full of bodies, like row after row.
Ooh.
Just like the but they seem mostly empty, at least from this distance.
He'll stop in the doorway.
This is like a little crypt or something? Does that seem normal?
Huh. I don't really know what normal means down here, but that sounds to be right up your alley, Theo.
I'll take a look around.
Alright. You enter?
Yep.
Alrighty. So, as you begin to step in and illuminate the space and really take a good look at everything, the floor of this room does seem to be slightly filled with like an inch of water across the ground. The skeletons.
Uh-oh.
You look.
Huh.
You guys didn't like that pause, did
say
you?
it like that? Why'd you say it like that?
Huh.
These skeletons.
These skeletons.
That inflection was not great.
You look closer at the spaces. Some of them are empty. Most of the spaces in here are empty. But looking into the shadows of these incroppings where the bodies would lie, where there are bodies, you do see a slight layer of that same ooze kind of tucked into the corners, slightly encompassing the bodies. It seems most of them have washed away from the water, but there is still kind of stagnant with the skeletons, the ooze.
Interesting.
Had we been seeing the ooze in the tunnel leading here like we had initially?
No. And if there had been, it would have been seeped into the cracks in the rubble, and it was not a burden to you in any way.
Interesting.
Like 3 spell slots left.
And are you guys being stealthy about this?
No.
Wonderful.
No.
Did you say no?
I am right next
Absolutely
to
not.
Theo.
No.
I came in here to bring the
No.
light, but no.
I'm whistling while I work.
They're
Absolutely fucking not.
skeletons. They're already dead. Why would we need to be stealthy?
Oh
Because
boy!
the DM said skeletons weird.
Let me explain something to you about the world of Dungeons and Dragons. My dear friend.
So far, the only skeletons that have come alive have been my doing. So
It's
Yeah,
true.
Yeah, the skeletons of our closets.
Yep.
What are you doing?
from my background, can I tell
Oh,
when
God.
and who made this?
Oh my gosh, yes you can. You're so
Okay.
right.
For the love of God.
These catacombs are roughly, I want to say 3,000 to 250, 2,500 years old. In that range. Long pre-war, this is old Mythera stuff. these bodies look just as old as the catacombs themselves. Elven in design. They're kind of built in a way that resembles a garden, like there were plants carved into the pillars around the edges of these pretty much these beds for the skeletons. It would be very beautiful if it wasn't so decrepit.
And these people
Yes.
clearly died a long time ago.
Yes.
Okay.
Stella, does this ring any bells?
I've never been down here. Though the architecture is akin to what I saw in the city above. But my guess is all these people were elves or of elven descent.
DM.
Yes.
Does the ooze seem like it has an intent here, like it wants to feed off skeletons, or can I get I don't know if I can inside check ooze, but I'm wondering why it's here in this room as it wasn't in the tunnel.
Make a nature check.
This is what the ooze is made of, right?
You've seen ooze in your former experiments with bone and ooze. You would understand that the ooze seems to have an attraction to, like, not necessarily just corpses, but it would have an attraction to skeletons, at least in what you've seen of ooze being attracted to bone. It might have, you're unsure of its need there, but you understand that that's how it works.
Give us your bones.
It wants the bones.
Give me the bones.
What's that nature check, Plip?
10.
10.
The whole time.
I am not intelligent.
No.
I did not hit her.
I did not. You don't know how the ooze works,
Hell yeah.
but it seems to like sitting in these holes with the corpses.
Creepy.
It doesn't currently seem agitated by your appearance.
Does anybody know if there's like a very large burial ground deeper under the city or something like that?
Your guess is as good as the rest of us.
These, I think, are the catacombs under the city. These are from pre-war. Old Thyra.
Well, that's very old.
That is quite old.
There may be more, though. What do I know about old, elvish burial customs?
Old elvish burial customs. Holy moly. So, elves... Let me pull up the entire document of the world ever.
Oh boy.
Elvish burial rites. They're usually buried by family or clan or buried close to people they were close with, essentially. You would assume in the city with less clans, they would be buried by family. Catacombs might be private based on how wealthy they are or how noble they may have been in their life. They were rarely buried in normal graveyards. Particularly high elves. Wood elves out in the wilds might have more of a symbiotic relationship with nature and how they were buried in that regard, but under a city you would assume that this is how this worked. So in instance, all the people in the room that you are currently in are probably related in a way. You don't know how extensive this catacomb can be or how far the mausoleums may spread. But generally, that's how they were buried. They're usually buried with people or with items that they liked in their lifetime, as most customs do. But most of their burial rites happen during their funeral, but you cannot see that from where you are currently. Those are your funeral burial rites for elves. Burial rites for dummies.
Is the plan to continue exploring these catacombs, or where to next from here?
There is ooze here. Could keep going deeper down the catacombs, or we could go back the drain. These catacombs are interesting. Who knows what we might be able to find? But I feel like our chances are relatively equal, whether we continue down these catacombs or go down the drain. We should keep going here then.
I agree. My vote is for the catacombs.
Let's do it.
Plip holds up a thumb.
All right.
Anneka, there's a park in the city that looks like a dick. I don't know what you expected.
I didn't notice it until you pointed it out.
Oh my god.
Thank you for
Damn.
pointing it out,
Damn.
Chief.
Damn.
All right. So, you guys push into the catacombs. I don't have the map uploaded into Foundry, so let me paint the picture for you. You are heading... You went west to enter this room from the tunnel. To the south wall, there are two rooms, or two doorways to different rooms, and there is an additional north door. The area that you're in currently only has about... there are like a couple burial sites in the walls with one area in the center with a few different tables with very old candles on them. There are a few different, what you presumed were once preserved flowers, sort of like preserved in jars that have wilted and sort of decayed in their own space. There are some burnt out candles on the walls, and a few trinkets lying about in each of these skeletons' beds. With 6 columns in the center of the room as well. That is the current room that you are in. 3 doors to go through. Which ones would you like to explore?
I'm just looking to Theo.
Is there one that seems older than the rest? Like, if the catacombs were expanded on as family members passed away?
Yes, the oldest room seems like the south left door. There's a south left and a south right and then a north. So the south left looks, or the southwest door looks the oldest. With your keen archaeological eye.
Always the oldest. Start there.
Seems like a good idea. Let's take a look.
All right. You enter the southwest door into a slightly smaller room. Upon the wall that you would assume there to be corpses has collapsed in.
Oh.
The wall is covered in rubble. There is maybe like the head of a skeleton or two that have been preserved but are completely buried, while the rest of their bodies are trapped within the rubble itself. There is another small table in the center of this room with some old, like a very nice looking like goblet, like a gold chalice on the table. Getting covered in whatever sort of muck and calcium that's been just attached to it over time in this very wet environment. The floor in here is still flooded. But again, not too deep to cause issue. From here, there is a door to the south and then a door to the west.
I should have done this earlier, but I'm gonna take 10 minutes to cast Detect Magic.
That's smart.
Yes. All right. And take 10
Did we
minutes in
say
this
how
room.
many skeletons were here?
In this room, there are 2 buried skeletons that you can see. In the last room, there were about 5.
Okay.
And we can see them because things are falling apart and like smashed? Or we just see closed coffins? Or it's just like holes in the wall?
They are holes in the wall.
I see, okay.
Like the Skyrim catacombs. They are holes in the
Yeah.
wall.
Got it.
That's your image here. Except it's much more elven and less Nordic, barbaric, sort of just like shove them in.
Real.
These bodies were placed with intent and respect and were kind of... You assume some of them were covered with like nice silks before they weathered away over time. Is there anything anybody is doing while Theo casts Detect Magic?
Just keeping an eye out.
Yeah.
Pacing around the area.
Looking for more concentrated bits of ooze,
Okay.
if any.
In this room, there doesn't seem to be as much, mostly because the bodies are missing. They're collapsed in. Can't see them.
And how big is the total space of all of these rooms? Do we know?
So the last room was about 15 by 30 feet. This room is 15 by 20.
So altogether, we could be talking like 100 feet squares, or more further.
Yeah, there could be much more further.
Okay, we don't even know.
You don't even know.
Okay.
But detect magic goes off. Few things to note. There must be some magic item buried beneath the rubble where some skeletons are. Because you see one small blip of abjuration magic.
Small Plip?
Small
You see a
blip.
small split.
You see a small blip, but also see a small blip of abjuration magic within the rubble. And you do see behind another wall. How far is it go actually?
10 feet.
10 feet? That's all you see for now.
30 feet.
30 feet!
30
Never
feet.
mind, you see a little bit farther. So, you see in... Okay. You see that small thing in the rubble, and you do see faint, very faint necrotic in some regions beyond walls that you can't see. But those seem to just be not condensed into a single spot, just like a subtle, like a watercolor, like a wash over some parts.
I'm sensing some necrotic magic down this way.
As in, like, death magic.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, but also fortunately, that could be a good sign.
It might lead us towards more ooze.
Maybe.
Start heading towards it.
Okay.
Oh my. All right.
So,
Plip is staying next to Theo at all times right now.
okay. Staying next to Theo. So, the washes came from the two doorways to, okay, there's one doorway to the west. To the south, there is a small hallway, with another door immediately off to the west again. So, two west doors, essentially. One closer to you and one slightly farther south. And you do feel the slightest bit of that same kind of wash of necrotic from the room you just came from.
Can you tell if it's like a magical creature or if it's just some object?
I think it might be the ooze.
Is it moving?
No.
Hmm.
Mind if I chime in for a moment? Bless you.
It's a lot of
I
dust.
know.
I had to
I
get the water. I'm gonna be getting cold.
I don't know too much about magic, but we are in the catacombs, right? Sure, it's easy to think that this necrotic, whatever it is, might be the ooze. Is it possible that it's, I don't know, maybe some kind of a trap or something guarding like a family heirloom or a treasure? or something. I just don't want to walk into anything that's going to get us all killed.
It
Yeah,
is
that's That's
possible.
valid.
These catacombs are 3,000 years old. So, it seems unlikely.
I don't. I think it's very similar to the paper note we found earlier. It just seems like it's a part of where everything's coming from. It's just not the source.
Hmm.
Well, having Miss Theo's magic should keep us alerted at least.
Was another magic signal, abjuration, from something that was buried in the rubble in the other room.
And abjuration is what kind of magic?
Protection?
Oh. Well, that seems more likely following my line of thinking earlier. Then.
Where is the magic again? The abjuration.
In the room we were just in, the one with the collapsed wall.
Like, is it under something?
It's under the rubble.
Do we want to try and pull it out?
Well, if there is a trap, I feel like that might trigger it. And it was also
I mean, if it's
Fair.
rubble, how would a trap be rigged up to rubble? Surely the trap itself has been turned to rubble at this point.
You're probably right.
There's only one way to find out.
Whatever it is, though, we still shouldn't take it.
Why not?
Because someone was buried with it.
People get buried with things all the time. They don't need it. They're dead.
Whatever it is, I guess we can just take a look at it, at least.
Yeah, just a
I
quick
would-
look. What's the harm?
Quick look.
I would
Well,
normally agree
could-
with you, Hailstorm. But as someone that just buried a sister, perhaps we should just leave it alone.
And we don't even know what it was. We don't even know what it is yet. We can look at it without taking it. Let's at least know what it is.
Does anybody have an ability to move the rubble from a ways away so we're not all standing there?
Lift up smaller pieces.
Yeah, what was the rubble actually looking like? How much was it under?
It doesn't look, based on where the intact wall is, it's probably like 3 feet deep at the most, or 3 feet thick at the base, but it's probably like only a foot and a half into the rubble where the magic is coming from. It's not too heavy if you wish to dig it up.
I'll use Mage Hand.
With all of us a ways away.
Yeah.
All right. You start removing pieces. And eventually it all just kind of crumbles away. and you see where the magic is emanating from, the hand, or now broken hand, of one of the buried skeletons. You see a ring.
Ah.
It's a ring of fucking protection, isn't it?
Get a little closer, not fast identify.
It's a ring of protection.
Nice.
Nice.
Hell yeah, brother.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice ring.
Nice. Nice ring. I like your ring, G.
Twang.
Twang.
Is it worth our time, Theo?
What is it? Oh,
It's just a ring.
a ring, a magic ring?
Yeah, only superficially though.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
I think it means we move on.
I think we should leave it.
Shall we at least put it back with whoever it was supposed to be with?
I assume you cast Identify without taking it off the hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wait, so we're far enough. We're far away from it, right?
Yeah, you're like backed against the opposite wall.
Can we go look at it at the very least? Like, I'm asking if it's safe to walk towards it.
It's safe as far as I can tell.
Are you inspecting it?
Sure.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Or calmly walk up to it, I suppose, awkwardly. 25.
25.
Indeed.
Right. You walk up to the ring. You lead in close to it. You do see along the... It's like a silver band. Along it you see little runes engraved on the outside. And a small little, like, stamp on the top of a shield.
Oh, like it has a stamp of a shield on it?
Mm-hmm. You don't know if it's a crest or not, but there's a little shield.
Hailstorm will have a little internal battle in her brain.
The necrotic aura awaits.
Correct.
All right. North room or south room? These are both the west rooms. So northwest room or southwest room?
South, because we're in the south.
Sure.
Aha! Funny guy. All right. You enter the south room. You go down a little bit into a tunnel. It looks like the end of the tunnel opens into another collapsed room. But you go through this small door and up a very short set of stairs into this raised room. There's no water in this room, fortunately. But that small, lingering scent of decay is stronger in this room. Upon entering it, it looks more like an altar room. It is clear of water, though you do see in the cracks of the stone floor and up the walls there are slight traces of that ooze. It looks old. There are small puddles in the corners of the room and in sort of small rivets in the floor. But along the walls you see inscriptions, carved into the sides, runes that are emanating this necrotic magic.
Oh.
Do they say anything?
Make an Arcana check.
Oh, fuck.
I'm gonna use inspiration.
Okay.
It's a straight roll.
All right, because you're still poisoned.
That is a 27.
Oh, wow.
That is to go. Yes, Theo knows.
All right. So, you read the runes on the walls. Some of the rooms seem to have ooze kind of like reaching up towards it, but have like since like almost like dried up halfway up. But the runes across the walls emanate a similar vibe to the spells that you have inscribed recently. Sort of like a control or create undead. More of a control in this aspect.
Oh.
Are you saying all of this as you learn it or not?
Probably not, but I will take out my spell book and write stuff down.
But the rest of you look upon the walls. It's almost very like creepily engraved in. It's not very neat. Looks almost rushed, but very just like someone who was just trying to get it done.
Which is very not like the crypts above, right? Which were like nice.
Yeah, this looks very like contrasting, right?
Yes, the sort of decorative inscriptions and like engravings on the rest of the catacombs that you've seen are very elegant, very
Orderly.
purposeful, orderly, artistic. This is unlike all of that. This doesn't even look like it's inscribed with the same like tools that the rest were. This was maybe like a knife or some other just like sharp object, not a chisel, not like a tablet pen. There is a sort of finesse to it, like somebody who knew that what they were doing or that they were practicing it beforehand.
So it looks well created, but it's definitely not similar to anything we've seen so far.
Yes, precisely. Like an artist trying to paint with a palette knife.
Hmm.
Plip will clock Theo looking at it and then writing.
Do you know what all that means?
It's necromantic for sure. I'll cast Identify.
Identify? Okay, what would
Again.
identify?
Oh
It's
boy.
kill.
Yeah.
You touch, you
Power
die.
word
Yep,
kill.
power word kill on the wall.
Okay. So let me think.
A needle pulling thread.
Fa,
Oh,
note to follow
alright.
so.
Okay.
We have funny people in the call. This is very much. What spell would this be?
Raise army.
Wish.
Create disease.
Insect
Ink.
plague.
Yeah.
This is. This
Rope
is
trick.
very. This is very much akin to create undead.
Ah.
But it's not affecting a creature specifically. You're unsure what the purpose might have been, but it's definitely here to either create or control any undead. You can assume any undead that are in the crypt, that are in these catacombs.
Hmm.
Seems slightly
Hmm.
problematic.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Slightly
Can
sus.
it just be like heal the party, give our spells back?
What if it just
though?
what? Yeah, power
Yeah,
word
sure
Can
it
long
wasn't
rest.
like radiant magic.
Yeah, power word long rest.
Yeah.
I mean, you can believe what you want to believe. I'm just stating what's there.
Are you looking
My
at it
delusions
from
are
a
my
wrong,
own.
wrong angle? Is it upside down?
Yeah, you're reading it upside down.
Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. You're way ahead
Amen.
of this one.
Real.
It will heal you if you're already dead.
Kind
Does
of.
Theo have any scars that visually heal?
Not that you see.
Damn. Her magic must be too strong.
But I will say,
So-
in combination with the identify and your ability that just lets you determine the age of things, these aren't particularly new.
And
These
they're
are-
active?
They are still active, like they've just been engraved into the wall and stuck here.
Fascinating.
But by someone that didn't actually make these catacombs.
Yes, by someone who did not make these catacombs.
What the fudge?
And they didn't raise everyone in the catacombs and then move on because we've seen bodies everywhere. Corpses.
Unless
Is
it's
this
a
like
trigger.
all related to the oozes in any way?
The oozes are not undead, right?
They are,
Or
right?
they are.
They are.
They are
Ah.
undead.
You've
Oh.
spoken undead with them. They are
Ugh.
some sort of
What
in
the-
between.
ew. Wait, what if the
In
oozes are?
between. Brother, ew.
But the
Brother, ew. What if the oozes are just like the decomposed guts of everything
Yeah.
that's down here?
And
Didn't
you've
we
been
know that
swimming
already?
around in it.
I feel like we figured that out. But
Yeah.
they are.
You're pretty on par with Theo's previous
Yeah,
theory.
Yeah.
yeah.
Can we dispel them somehow?
all of
These
this.
runes?
I could try.
Oh god.
Theo just stands there.
Looking thoughtful?
Looking
What is she looking like?
conflicted. She doesn't want to dispel it.
Hmm.
Mm.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Is there like magic that can like destroy it?
Not that I have access to.
Hmm.
Um,
Insight check.
maybe if we sleep on it.
Insight check?
Less of an insight check, but still maybe an insight check. 18.
Mechanically, I do have a 4th level spell that I could try casting Dispel Magic with. But
And I get that. AKA that you're kind of lying.
I mean, with an 18, yeah.
She's half truthing. Mostly truthing with a subtle restraint.
A pinch of lie.
Can I,
Sweetening.
with that insight check and all the events of the last hour or so, also get a sense for Theo's, and not to mention the floating skull, general affinity to and interest in death/undeath?
My brother, you have no idea.
You haven't seen the start of it.
My brother, you have no idea what you're
Yeah.
getting into.
You've got no fucking clue.
I've
That
got
is a
6
path you cannot turn
my
around.
brother in Christ, I've done 6 tours in Iraq compared to what you're getting into right now.
Theo, you feel like you'd get that sense?
Probably a little bit.
Oh, God.
Thyra, where are you standing relative to
Oh, God.
Theo, who
Oh,
I assume is up
God.
front, and the group?
That's such a loaded question.
Probably in between, but also like I don't want to get hit by the spell if something goes off. So
Like, how far away from Theo?
I'll say like 20 feet away,
Okay.
15 feet away.
Plip is going to pad back to Thyra while Theo is contemplating and conversating. I don't mean to create any conflict between all of you friends, but it seems like Miss Theo could maybe do something about this and has an ulterior interest. I don't want to cast aspersions, but
I'm not surprised she does. She's sort of obsessed with death.
in like a concerning way, or
Oh, boy.
I guess that you could
Oh.
interpret how you like. More in that determined to bring people back.
oh, well, I can do that. Well, within limited confines.
I suspect it'd be different between how you would do it and she.
All right. Well, I don't feel like it's my place to challenge her on it, but I just thought someone should know.
I appreciate it. But if you feel strongly, then I think you should say. You may be joining this group for the time being, but you are part of the group.
That's true, but I don't know what's important to her or why. I don't know if it's my call to make.
I think it's anyone's call. I think it's the group's call. But I just met you, and I've known Theo for longer, so take that with what you will. But Theo's curiosity gets the better of, as the most people. in this.
He'll like kind of cast his eyes down, nod slightly, and then walk back up towards Theo. And just sort of stand next to her looking at the wall. Well, if we can't do anything about it right now, then I guess it might not, well, things might get worse up top, and this might keep spreading, so maybe we should go back up and help where we can.
I think I can get rid of it. Just give me a day.
He'll like look up at her and give her a half smile. Okay.
So we wait down here for a day?
What time is it, DM?
Oh, good lord. Sometime in the afternoon.
Like early afternoon?
Maybe like 4 or 5 p.m.
Well, I could make us a little place to sleep down here for the night, but it'd be a little less safe very early in the morning.
I could do that as well. It'll be quite safe, actually.
Same. What's yours do?
We'd probably want to go back to the tile room. It makes a tower.
Oh. Mine's smaller.
Tower sounds like more space, maybe?
A tower?
Mhm.
What? What?
Does not compute.
The entrance of the catacombs, how big is that? Like the room that we...
The room that you started in? Again, it's about... Let me pull it back up. It
Height-wise?
is 15 feet wide, the room itself. And, 60 from side to side. There are pillars in the center. Did you need, like, a set amount of space, dimension-wise, for it?
Well, each level of the tower is 10 feet tall. There's 2 levels, so it's 20 feet high, and it has an area of up to 100 square feet.
Yo!
So 10 by 10-ish.
Living in fine society, finally.
Does it need the physical space to pop up? Or is it like a
Doorway.
doorway?
I don't know, but
I think it's a physical tower.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Oh boy.
damn!
Maybe smaller is better.
You make a giant tower?
Yup.
Give her
There
a day,
might
guys,
not-
to dispel this, but nope, let's make a
This
big fuck off tower.
might not fit in. It could maybe fit in the current room that you're in. There is enough space, width-wise. Although you could probably only get 1 story worth of space,
I don't think that's how it works.
unless you need the full thing, and you can't just go story by story depending on the space.
I think 2 stories, the lower limit.
Maybe not.
So small.
Small it is.
Small it is.
Does that mean me?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh. Here?
We're outside.
Okay. Plip starts walking back that direction. When he gets to Thyra, I know you're not a huge fan of your home, per se. Is there another place you can think of outside that you do enjoy?
Oh.
Something that's comfortable for you?
I think she has a moment where she truly does think about it as she's trying to find a memory or something that has comfort in it. I've never been to it, but there's a place where it's rolling hills of green. Someone once told me about.
Okay.
I've only seen that.
I'll try something close.
And he'll continue walking back towards the room, the larger room.
Okay.
And when we get there, find a space that seems decently clear, particularly on the ground,
I mean,
about
the-
20 feet in diameter if possible.
Okay. 20 feet in diameter?
10-foot radius.
Good God, there's no space in this catacomb. So, I will say, there is a large enough space further out of the catacomb where you came in by the stream of water.
That sounds great.
That is
Stream
where
of
we
water
shall
is
go.
lovely. Yep.
If the floor is dry, there is enough room.
Beauty.
Okay.
Plip will get there and then pull out from under his garments this amulet that has the symbol that's on his shield with a small sapphire in the middle. And take a minute, set it down in the center of the ground, and start moving his fingers. And sort of forming and like adjusting his hands with like in rolling patterns. And I will cast Tiny Oasis.
Oh my god.
And it will be the closest thing that I could remember from my home, because that's where this amulet is from, to rolling green grass, hills, like small, very small hills that essentially form little beds and pillows almost. And then in one edge of it, this sort of 3-foot-ish rock with a large basin in it that's filled with water. And around this 20-foot diameter little miniature oasis, a dome of force springs up, and you see it briefly like flutter with arcane energy. And then he'll make it the gray of the stone around us. And then walk in. And then poke his head back out. Oh, you can all come in now.
All right.
What the fuck?
I'll like slowly walk in and look at the hills of green.
When you get in through the opaque dome, you see Plip has climbed up into the little basin of water in the rock and is like lying in it, basically.
Just chilling,
Vibing.
bro.
Yes.
And the rolling green hills that have been created look very, very similar to the description you were given.
Oh my god.
Plip, I assume you created something similar to what you've seen in the small parts of the Ayakta Hills you've created.
Yes.
Very hobbity.
I think, yes, Thyra just slowly walks to the hills, and Plip, you don't know, but she just has this moment of utter like unbelief. She knows it's not real, but she puts her hand in the grass anyway and closes her hand.
Incidentally, also, I don't know if it's warm or cool down here in the general tunnels, but when you come inside, the temperature is like 65 degrees. There's a slight breeze with, I would say, the smell of like a distant field of corn and the sounds of outside nightlife very faintly.
We nestle in.
This will be gone in 8 hours, so try to get your rest.
He nestles down in his pool.
That you all cozy up on your little hills, sort of taking in the very calm interior. You swear for a moment you see little lightning bugs just like flitter in and out of the space around you, as you do your best to get a good night's rest. And that's what will end the session for tonight.
God, Matthew, wait! Oh my god!
That's you!
Little oasis. What the heck?
Tiny
That's-
oasis.
Tiny
That's
oasis.
that's little protector's cousin.
Ah,
True.
Oasis.
little oasis.
True.